इसको इंग्लिश में हम कैसे बोलेंगे? वी वेंट देयर या वी हैड गॉन देयर?
तुम लाइक सॉरी नॉट तुम आप लाइक आप क्या बोलना चाहती है? लाइक द वर्ड लाइक किस कंटेक्स्ट में बोल रहे हैं आप?
मैम आई वाज जस्ट ट्रांसलेटिंग सेंटेंसेस, सिंगल सेंटेंसेस.
नो नो दैट इज फाइन, दैट आई अंडरस्टूड. लाइक किस कंटेक्स्ट में बोल रहे हैं? जो बोल रहे हैं वो किस कंटेक्स्ट में बोल रहे हैं? कि हम वहां गए थे इन द सेंस कोई किसी ने पूछा कि क्या आप कभी नैनीताल गए हैं एंड दे से हाँ हम वहां गए थे, इन दिस कंटेक्स्ट.
मैम कॉन्टेक्स्ट तो कुछ भी नहीं था, वो सिंपल सेंटेंसेस थे, मैं उनको ट्रांसलेट कर रही थी.
ओके सो अगर कंटेक्स्ट ये हुआ, इफ द कंटेक्स्ट इज दिस कि आप वहां गए थे इन द जाकर घूम कर आए हैं, तो आप बोलेंगे आई हैव बीन टू नैनीताल. ओके ऑलराइट, लाइक आई हैव बीन टू नैनीताल, मैं नैनीताल जा चुकी हूँ या वहां पर गई हूँ एक बार या दो बार, वट एवर, राइट? And the sentence you are saying कि हम वहां गए थे, for that I think the best way to say is we went there. Okay, so you can say we went there, but again it will depend on the context. For example, if someone asks you कि did you attend the party and you want to say हाँ हम वहां गए थे, so you can say something like yes we went. उसके बाद देर लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि ऑलरेडी उन्होंने आपको बता दिया है कि देर कहाँ है, पार्टी. ओके सो यू डू नॉट हैव टू रिपीट दैट पार्ट. बट फिर आपको किसी ने पूछा कि हैव यू एवर बीन टू एमजी रोड, सो यू से यस यस वी वेंट देयर वंस, सो हम वहां एक बार गए थे. ओके सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कंटेक्स्ट यू विल चेंज द सेंटेंस स्ट्रक्चर अ लिटिल बिट. क्लियर?
ठीक है मैम. ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
यस नेक्स्ट व्हाट एल्स?
मैं अक्सर उसके घर जाता हूँ.
ओके दिस इज वेरी
तो
इजी.
मैम इसमें आई ऑफन गो टू हिज होम और आई ऑफन गो हिज होम.
Go to his home. Go to his home. Why? Because his is working as a determiner. Right? मैंने बोला था कि अगर सिर्फ home लगा रहे तो to नहीं आएगा, but his home, my home, Rahul's home, इनके लिए हम to लगाते हैं. Alright?
ओके मैम. नेक्स्ट इज वो मोबाइल से क्या देख रहा है? What is he watching? In मोबाइल, on मोबाइल या with मोबाइल?
On his phone या on his mobile. Okay? फोन के लिए हमेशा ऑन का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. लैपटॉप, फोन, कंप्यूटर, टैबलेट, हमेशा ऑन का इस्तेमाल होगा. ओके
ओके. एंड लास्ट मैम, वह कभी कभी मेरे घर आता है. ही समटाइम्स कम माय होम और कम्स माय होम.
ही समटाइम्स कम्स टू माय होम. ओके कम्स होगा क्योंकि he is third person singular. I sometimes come to your home, but he sometimes comes to your home because he is third person singular. Yes,
that I know ma'am, but ये sometimes लगने से s हट जाएगा ऐसा नहीं है, comes ही रहेगा वो.
yes आप क्योंकि आप सेंटेंस ऐसे भी बोल सकते हैं, sometimes he comes to my home, right?
हाँ ओके 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 ठीक है मैम. थैंक यू
मैम. I have a sentence मैम.
yes yes बताइए अभय.
मैं for example मैम, my day is going well or my day has been going well.
Yes, yes, both are correct. Both are correct. Abhay, my day has been going well till now. या मतलब my day has been going well का मतलब अभी तक दिन अच्छा जा रहा है basically. Okay, if you say my day is going well, मतलब मेरा दिन अच्छा जा रहा है. That's the only difference.
Yeah, my day has been spending well.
No, not spending, not spending. Spending is like खर्च करना. You are not spending the day right now. Okay.
Okay.
Very nice, very good, Abhay. Any other questions, guys?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Isha.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to all of you guys.
Thank
May
you.
love pour in all of your lives from all aspects.
You are very important.
Ma'am, these days,
Yes, Abhay.
Valentine week celebrating Valentine week.
2 week पहले से 2-3 week पहले से लोग सेलिब्रेट करते हैं. पता नहीं इतना टाइम कहाँ से मिलता है. I तो have classes the entire day today.
Ma'am, please read Sachin comment, ma'am. Maybe he needs help.
Sachin's comment?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't see anything. Is there some problem? Like, I can't see Isha. What is it?
Okay, ma'am. Just let me read, ma'am. I'm also searching his comment. Yes, ma'am. Huh, ma'am. He wrote here, na. Good morning, ma'am. Please help in this sentence. He was found to be suffering from COVID. Why is used here to be and suffering. जबकि इसका मतलब इन हिंदी में पीड़ित है.
To be is what is it? Tell me, anyone? Yes. To be. He.
Gerund. Infinitive.
Infinitive. Very good. He is found to be suffering. R-I-N-G or double R-I-N-G? Not sure. Okay. Spellings me I'm very good.
No,
He is
no,
found to be
single R.
suffering. Yes.
Single R. Single R will be
Okay.
there.
Okay. Suffering from COVID.
Yes, ma'am. From COVID. Why is to be used here, ma'am?
Yes. So basically the sentence is he is found to be suffering from COVID. He is the subject, is the verb, auxiliary verb, okay, helping verb. Found is the main verb. To be is the infinitive. Suffering is actually the gerund. And from COVID is basically, it can be treated as a prepositional phrase, okay. इसको छोड़ दीजिए. So basically this is the structure of the sentence. All right. अगर इसको मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूँ तो ये होगा कि he is found to be suffering from COVID. ये पता किया गया है कि वो कोविड से सफर कर रहा है या कोविड के द्वारा पीड़ित है. Okay, so this will be the basic translation, loose translation into Hindi. All right. So this is basically an infinitive. To be is working as an infinitive. Yeah. Okay, I think this answers the question. Let me see if anyone has written anything. I can't see any more messages. Isha, I'm sorry, Isha, if you see anything, please let me know, okay?
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Chaliye. Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to actually discuss phrases. We were talking about this in the previous class as well, that we need to discuss about phrases and clauses before we move on to conjunctions, right? Because we are a little confused on what are phrases and clauses, right?
Phrases is required. If you finish the conjunction, then after you start the phrases.
No. I actually want to start before, Abhay, because phrases and clauses, if you do not know what are noun phrases, adjective phrases and all, it will be difficult to understand conjunctions. That's why I started. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, most welcome. Chaliye. Phrases and okay, so phrases and clauses, what is the difference? बहुत ही simple difference है. Phrases basically includes either a subject or a predicate. Okay, so it is basically a small part of a sentence. It is a small part of a sentence that either includes a subject or a predicate. So phrases में दोनों चीजें नहीं होते हैं, subject और predicate दोनों नहीं होते हैं, या तो subject होते हैं या फिर predicate होता है. Okay, और clauses का क्या है? Clauses include both a subject and a predicate. Okay, so subject में दोनों ही होता है एक सॉरी क्लॉज में दोनों ही होता है, एक सब्जेक्ट होता है, एक प्रेडिकेट होता है. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट फ्रेजेस एंड क्लॉजेस आर. बेसिक डिफरेंस जो फ्रेजेस और क्लॉजेस का है वो ये है कि फ्रेजेस में या तो सब्जेक्ट होगा या फिर प्रेडिकेट होगा, दोनों एक साथ यूजुअली नहीं होता है. ओके, एंड क्लॉजेस में क्या होता है? क्लॉजेस में दोनों ही इंक्लूडेड होता है, सब्जेक्ट भी और प्रेडिकेट भी. ऑलराइट, सो वी विल स्टार्ट विद फ्रेजेस टुडे एंड हम clauses, after we complete phrases we will go on to clauses. Okay, so what are phrases? Let's try and understand. So बिल्कुल simple definition है. Grammatical phrases are groups of 2 or more words. So दो या दो से ज्यादा शब्द हो सकते हैं. So even a book, an apple can be a phrase. एक से ज्यादा शब्द होने पर ही उसको phrase बोल दिया जाता है. Okay, क्योंकि one is a word. So a group of letters is called a word, single word. और जैसे ही हम एक ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स बना देंगे वो फ्रेज बन जाता है. जैसे ही एक से ज्यादा शब्द हो जाएंगे वो फ्रेज बन जाएगा. ओके, व्हाट डज द फ्रेज डू? दे वर्क टुगेदर टू परफॉर्म अ सिंगल ग्रामेटिकल फंक्शन इन अ सेंटेंस. सो ये जो फ्रेजेस है, ये जो समूह है शब्दों का, सो हमने क्या क्या लेटर्स लिए, ए से जेड तक ABCD करके लेटर्स लिए. उसमें से कुछ लेटर्स को हमने जोड़ा और हमने शब्द बनाया, वर्ड्स बनाया. अब उन शब्दों को हमने लिया, लाइक एन एप्पल, अ बुक, द रेड ग्रीन हाउस, द ब्रोकन बाइसिकल. सो ऐसे करके हमने शब्दों का एक समूह बनाया. ये जो समूह है इसको हम फ्रेज बोल रहे हैं. राइट, सो दिस group of words is being called as phrase. Now what does this group of word do in a sentence? They function as a single grammatical function. So for example, they might work as a part of speech, like a noun, an adjective, a verb, a gerund, an infinitive. So a group of words can also work as a noun. Okay, you're getting my point. So वो जो समूह हमने बनाया शब्दों का, ये एक नाउन की तरह, एक वर्ब की तरह, एक एडजेक्टिव की तरह उस सेंटेंस में काम कर सकता है. यही बेसिक काम है एक फ्रेज का. दिस इज द बेसिक फंक्शन ऑफ अ फ्रेज इन अ सेंटेंस. ओके, एंड ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट फ्रेज विल आइदर हैव अ सब्जेक्ट और अ प्रेडिकेट. मतलब या तो उसमें एक सब्जेक्ट होगा या फिर एक वर्ब होगा. दोनों एक साथ एक फ्रेज में कभी भी नहीं हो सकता. ओके, सो दोनों एक साथ होगा तो वो क्लॉज बन जाएगा. जैसे ही एक सेंटेंस में, एक फ्रेज में, एक ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स में सब्जेक्ट भी है और वर्ब भी है या प्रेडिकेट भी है, तो वो हमारा क्लॉज बन गया, वो फिर फ्रेज नहीं रहा. ओके, दिस मच इज क्लियर. लेट्स कम टू द सेकंड पॉइंट. अनलाइक क्लॉज, यस, unlike clauses, yes, do you have a question, Swati?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I just want to say, like, clause means it has meaning in itself. Is it like that?
No. Swati, what you are trying to say is about independent clause. Okay, independent clause has meaning in itself, but there is another type of clause that is called a dependent clause. Now that dependent clause will have a subject, it will also have a verb like a predicate, but it will not mean anything on its own. उसको फिर आपको independent clause के साथ जोड़कर मतलब निकालना पड़ेगा. All right, Swati, you understand?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So that is different. यही, this is something I know, this is a common misconception. So इसको अच्छे से दूर कीजिए इस misconception को. Phrases are those that either have a subject or a predicate. Phrases में या तो subject होता है या फिर predicate, मतलब verb होता है. उसमें दोनों एक साथ कभी भी नहीं होगा. Okay? But clauses में predicate भी होता है और subject भी होता है. So एक subject रहेगा, एक verb रहेगा. और इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो अपने आप में पूरा एक कंप्लीट वाक्य है और उसका पूरा मतलब निकलेगा. हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. दोनों को ही हम क्लॉज बोलेंगे. ऑलराइट, क्लियर? देखिए, अनलाइक क्लॉजेस,
राइट मैम,
yes, so unlike clauses, phrases do not contain both a subject and a predicate. So clauses, predicate और subject दोनों होता है clauses में, but phrases में एक ही होगा, दोनों नहीं होगा. Although they sometimes function as one or the other. So कभी कभी ऐसा हो सकता है, so phrase में subject या predicate नहीं होगा, मतलब सिर्फ एक ही होगा, या तो subject है या फिर predicate है. But फ्रेजेस सब्जेक्ट की तरह भी काम कर सकते हैं एक सेंटेंस में, फ्रेजेस प्रेडिकेट की तरह भी काम कर सकते हैं एक सेंटेंस में। कैसे? अभी अभी हमने डिस्कस किया कि फ्रेजेस सेंटेंस में किस चीज का काम करते हैं, नाउन्स, एडजेक्टिव्स, वर्ब्स, एडवर्ब्स, इन सब चीजों का काम फ्रेजेस करते हैं। एक समूह रहता है शब्दों का, वो एक संज्ञा का काम कर रहा है। एक समूह है संज्ञा का एक वाक्य में, वो एक क्रिया का काम कर रहा है, राइट? सो जस्ट इमेजिन गाइस, इफ अ ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स, अ फ्रेज इज वर्किंग एज अ नाउन इन अ सेंटेंस, it can easily work as a subject of the sentence, right? That is why it can work sometimes as a subject. Similarly, if a verb phrase is used and it is working as a verb of the sentence, it can easily work as the predicate of the sentence or the verb of the sentence, right? So this is how the phrase can change its form depending on where we are using it and how we are using it, and most importantly, what words are being used in the phrase. Is this clear? यहाँ तक बिल्कुल clear है guys?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Okay? कोई भी question है तो? Yes, yes. Good morning.
Ma'am, today, what is the today's topic, ma'am?
Today's topic is phrases, and we have just started. We have just started with the definition of phrase, and we will look at different types of phrases. Okay? Then we will go back to conjunctions.
Ma'am, before some days ago, you said that we will discuss on conjunction.
Yes, we started the discussion on conjunctions, but then I understood that some people are like they do not understand phrases quite as well. So इसीलिए we are doing phrases so that we can understand phrases and clauses clearly, so that when we move on to conjunctions, there are no doubts. Okay? Because
ma'am.
you will
Thank
need
you,
to
ma'am.
understand this to understand conjunctions.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am.
yes, Isha. No, Meera.
One doubt, ma'am. I'm just rating his doubt, ma'am.
Okay, yes.
One question for you, ma'am. Please clear my doubt. Is roll out a phrasal verb or separately two words? What does
Roll out. Roll
Yes.
out.
Yes, ma'am. Roll out.
Roll out. I rolled out the paper.
Phrasal verb.
Phrasal verb. Yes.
Phrasal verb.
Yes, Krishna Reddy, it's not a phrasal verb, or what are you saying?
Roll out. Roll
Yes,
out.
ma'am.
Yes, Krishna Reddy, what are you saying?
Phrasal verb,
Yes.
ma'am. Roll out.
Yes.
I think
Yes, even I think it is a phrasal verb, right?
yes, ma'am.
Roll out, for example, you can say
Launch, meaning of launch, ma'am.
large.
Launch.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Launch. Yes, I am saying that. Launch.
Okay, okay. Roll out meaning. देखते हैं. Let's see.
मैम
Launch.
खारिज करना किसी बात के लिए
Officially launch or introduce a new product or service. So it can be the firm rolled out its newest generation of supercomputers. Okay, absolutely correct, Krishna Reddy. Correct. Launching something, right? Very good.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so yes, definitely a phrasal verb, because इसका मतलब नहीं आ रहा है. मतलब जब भी इसका मतलब different हो जाता है ना, like whenever the meaning is different from the verb or the preposition that is being used, it becomes a phrasal verb. Very good. Chaliye, let's go to phrases again.
Yesterday I learned phrases and classes completely, ma'am.
Pardon?
Yesterday I learned phrases and classes completely.
Oh, you have learned completely. Very nice. Then I think Karthik will be able to help a lot today. Yes?
Means there are some easy ways, ma'am, to understand
To
this topic.
remember, right? To understand. Okay, okay, let's see. So, chaliye, the first type of phrases that we are going to discuss today is noun phrases. All right. I think this is the simplest noun phrase. So, noun kya hai? Hum sabko pata hai, right? What is a noun? It's basically the name of place, person, thing. Right. Absolutely correct.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
place, person, thing. So, noun phrase kya karta hai? Noun phrase works as a noun of a sentence, right? Noun phrase एक वाक्य का noun की तरह काम करता है, एक वाक्य में noun की तरह काम करता है. So, a noun phrase consists of a noun plus any determiners or modifiers directly related to it. So, इसका मतलब क्या है कि noun phrase में क्या होगा? मैंने अभी बताया कि phrase का मतलब एक समूह of शब्द होता है, right? A group of words. सो नाउन फ्रेज का मतलब है कि वो जो समूह है शब्दों का उसमें एक नाउन होगा और उसके साथ कुछ डिटर्मिनर्स होगा, लाइक ए, द, हिज, हर, इट्स, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। ओके, और उसके साथ क्या होगा, उसके साथ हो सकता है मे बी कोई मॉडिफायर्स, like there are adverbs like her, sweetly, and smiling, I don't know, whatever is modifying that noun. मॉडिफाई करने का मतलब उस नाउन के बारे में कुछ एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन हमें देगा, ओके, बट द मेन वर्ड ऑफ द फ्रेज विल बी द नाउन ऑफ द फ्रेज। ओके, सो व्हाट इज द ग्रामेटिकल फंक्शन? नाउन फ्रेजेस ऑलवेज हैव द ग्रामेटिकल फंक्शन of nouns in a sentence. So noun phrase क्या करता है, हमेशा एक noun का काम करता है sentence में, वाक्य में noun का काम करेगा। All right, let's look at some of the examples and try and understand कि कैसे noun phrases काम करते हैं। So we have three different types here, not really types but you can say examples दिए गए हैं using various forms of determiners and modifiers. So the first example is, I found a book I'd like to read. This is very simple. I found a book I would like to read. So this a book is working as a noun phrase. So a और book दो शब्द है, दोनों को मिलाकर एक phrase बन रहा है। Okay, so a is basically a determiner, a is a determiner and book is the noun. All right, and this is definitely working as a noun phrase क्योंकि ये noun की तरह काम कर रहा है sentence में। This is very simple, I think. Is this clear, guys? यहाँ तक कोई question है?
Ma'am, can I say one easy trick, ma'am?
No, ma'am. Clear,
Yes, yes, yes. Someone, yes, Karthik was saying something. Yes, Karthik.
To find out what is a noun class or noun phrase, simply there is one easy trick, ma'am. Just ask the verb what.
What?
For example,
right, exactly.
in the sentence, I found what? I found a book. In the third example,
You
what
got
belongs to
the
me?
right,
What belongs
exactly.
to me? The red car belongs
Exactly.
to me. That's it.
Absolutely correct. So this I was actually going to say, but you said it, but absolutely correct, right? Okay, we will come to this. First, let's look at the examples in a little more details. So her sweetly smiling child. She gazed lovingly at her sweetly smiling child. So her sweetly smiling child becomes our noun phrase again, right? ये हमारा noun phrase बन जाता है। her क्या है? देखते हैं, determiner है her. adverb क्या है? sweetly है. smiling क्या है? Adjective है basically in the present participle form. Okay, smiling is working as an adjective here and child is definitely the noun. So अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये जितने भी शब्द हैं, her, sweetly, smiling, ये तीनों शब्द क्या कर रहे हैं? They are giving us some extra information about the child. Child कैसा है? Smiling है, sweet है, किसका है? उसका है, hers, right? The child is hers. So all these are giving the like a little bit more information or modifying the main word or the main noun of the sentence or phrase, that is child. This is again working as a noun phrase. Simply अगर सोचेंगे इस sentence में she lovingly gazed at the child या at her child बोल देंगे तो भी पूरा मतलब निकलता है sentence का। Okay, so child is of utmost importance. Child हमारा सबसे important word है इस sentence का। Okay, so again same thing, it is working as a noun phrase here, noun की तरह काम कर रहा है। And another important thing is this is working as the object of the sentence. If you see, it is working as the object of the sentence. इसमें भी I found a book is working as the object of the sentence, a book. Okay, next, the red car belongs to me. The red car is working as again a noun, right? So the determiner है, red adjective है, car हमारा noun है, right? So again the and red, they are modifying the noun car. They are telling us something extra about the noun car. That is why this is working as a noun phrase in the sentence, the red car belongs to me. And the red car is working as a subject of the sentence, right? The red car is working as the subject of the sentence. Now what Karthik has said, just try and understand कि कैसे पता लगाए कि ये noun phrase है या नहीं. So when you turn this sentence into a question, it will always have the word what in it. What, okay? It will always have the word what in it. For example, I found a book I would like to read. What did you find? I found a book. She gazed lovingly at her sweetly smiling child. What did she gaze at? at her sweetly loving child. Yeah, sweetly, at her sweetly
Gaze means
smiling child. Yes?
ma'am, gaze. What is the meaning gazed?
Gazing मतलब किसी की तरफ बहुत लाइक बहुत देर से बहुत अच्छे से देखते रहना किसी को, लाइक बोलते हैं ना कभी कभी कि आई एम गेजिंग एट द स्टार्स, मतलब मैं स्टार्स को देख रही हूँ, निहार रही हूँ, काइंड ऑफ लाइक दैट. ओके
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Abhay, yes. So see again, this entire phrase, her sweetly smiling child, can be replaced with the word what as a question. Similarly, the red car belongs to me. What belongs to me? So again, it becomes a noun. Is this clear? Guys, yahan tak clear hai? Koi bhi doubt hai, please ask.
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes, ma'am. I have a doubt.
Yes, definitely. Bataiye.
Ma'am, the fourth one is she gazed lovingly at her sweetly smiling child. My question is, her sweetly smiling child is a phrase?
Yes. Her sweetly smiling child is a phrase, and it is actually a noun phrase because it is working as a noun in the sentence.
Okay.
Thank you. अगर सिंपली बोले, देखिए इसको अगर मैं हटा दूं और एक सिंपल मैं नाउन लगाना चाहूं यहाँ पर तो भी लगा सकती हूँ. She gazed lovingly at the stars. She gazed lovingly at the stars. The stars is a noun phrase. ये हमें समझ में आता है. Stars is working as a noun. So इस पूरे phrase के जगह पे सिर्फ एक noun भी लगा सकते हैं. इसका मतलब क्या हो रहा है कि obviously ये भी एक noun का ही काम कर रहा है. All right. And other way to understand this is simply what Karthik said. Phrase को हटा दीजिए, what लगा दीजिए. अगर meaning निकलता है question का, तो it is a noun phrase. She gazed lovingly at what? And she gazed lovingly at her sweetly smiling child. Clear?
Means extra, giving the extra information about noun.
Right, exactly. Her sweetly smiling. ये तीनों हमें extra information दे रहा है किस चीज के बारे में? About the
noun.
child.
Yes.
About the noun child. Right? So that's why this entire phrase is working as a noun phrase. यहाँ तक clear है guys? Are there any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, great. So I actually wanted to do some exercises before I move on to another one, but usse pehle let's look at some gerund phrases and infinitive phrases as well, because I think wo nahi karenge to problem ho jayega. Okay, chaliye, let's do this. Just give me a second.
Ma'am, you're going so deeply, ma'am, like gerund phrases, infinitive phrases means.
Yeah, I think gerund and infinitive phrases are a little important because otherwise आपको समझ में नहीं आएगा कि अगर to eat an apple लिखा हुआ है, so you won't be understanding what is it, right? I know that like some people will understand it automatically, but it might be a little difficult for others.
People don't know what is gerund and infinitive, so they might get confused.
No, if you need help with gerund and infinitive, I will also help with that. No issues. Okay, just give me 1 second.
We want to know about gerund phrase and gerund. What is gerund, ma'am?
Gerund, right? Yes, I'll tell you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Even I am also willing to know.
Yes, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Okay, just give me 1 second. I actually made a slide for verb phrases, but then I realized कि verb से पहले ये कर लेता है. Okay, so I'll just reshare the screen. So सबसे पहले समझेंगे कि gerund होता क्या है और infinitive we will do when we are talking about infinitives. Okay, let's try and understand what are gerunds. So guys, I would really appreciate if you guys can watch the previous videos as well. अगर देख लेंगे तो आपको थोड़ा clear हो जाएगा. All right. So
मैम प्रीवियस वीडियोस जेरेंड्स के देखना है.
बहुत कुछ है उसमें. Like we have discussed all the parts of speech in a lot of details. Okay. So if you want, you can.
It will be much help. Could you please little bit share with us for previous classes with this
Previous
sentence?
classes are there on the app itself. On the app itself, you can watch the previous classes of all the teachers, not just mine, all the teachers. Okay. चलिए, so let's come back to gerunds and let's try to understand what are gerunds. सबसे पहले समझेंगे gerund समझने के लिए समझना जरूरी है कि verb क्या होता है. हम सबको पता है कि verb क्या होता है. क्रिया, right? कोई कर्म, कोई action.
Action, act.
Verb can be action or state of being.
Karthik, are you preparing for civil services exam? Hello, Karthik.
Yeah, I'm already an IAS officer. Why should I prepare again?
What?
I'm already an IAS officer.
Which
Wow,
place?
Karthik.
This is a joke of the day. This is a joke of the day.
A joke.
Oh my God.
Please.
No, Manju, just because of some interest. Means I sometimes learn. That's it.
Okay. That's nice. Okay, thank you.
Manju, one more thing. Previously you asked about some phrase. No, if the sentence has both verb and subject in it, it is a clause. Otherwise, it is a phrase. If one of the things is missing, then it is a phrase.
Please,
Then
would
check
you?
check whether both are there or not in a sentence.
Karthik,
If both are there,
Karthik,
it is a clause. Otherwise, it's a phrase. That's it.
हेलो कार्तिक.
Please
Hello.
repeat this phrase about the phrase.
Now, if there is one sentence in that
Yeah.
particular sentence, if there are both subject and verb, then it is a clause.
Oh.
If one of them is missing, either subject or verb, then it is a phrase.
Okay. Right.
Now, ma'am is
Hello.
teaching about the kinds of phrases.
Karthik, this is Swati.
Yeah,
I
please.
just want to ask you that are you referring some grammar book for English grammar?
No. Actually, very long back, I read some grammar. Means just I'm recollecting all those things. I don't even read for 10 minutes also in a day.
Okay.
Yeah, very long back. I think 1 or 2 years back, I read some grammar. That's it. I'm just recollecting all those things.
एक्चुअली प्रॉब्लम इज सेम ना. 20 साल से अंग्रेजी बोल भी रहे हैं, पढ़ भी रहे हैं, लेकिन आज तक कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है.
It's depend on the environment because of we around us.
I don't know who spoke in Hindi right now, but I want to say one thing that how did you learn your mother tongue? By listening to
That's what
someone else, no?
I've started same thing. I just started listening skit stories on YouTube.
But one thing you should
So I just want to
remember that.
absorb it. I do.
No. One thing I want to say, while listening to something, you just switch off the subtitles. If you switch on the subtitles, what happens means it becomes as a reading more than listening.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So
But
means if
actually,
you switch
I
on
don't
the
want
subtitles,
to.
yeah.
Hi, I am audible.
I don't want to go.
Yes, ma'am, you can hear.
I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, my Zoom stopped working. I was trying so desperately to get back into the class, but it took me some time.
audible, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Audible.
So I even joined as a student just to check what was the problem. Okay, thank you guys for waiting. Were you guys discussing something? You can like complete that, then we will start.
No, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay.
Please carry on.
Okay, thank you guys. Chaliye. So we were discussing about gerunds, right? I don't know what happened all of a sudden. Chaliye. So gerunds. So the first thing you have to understand gerunds is that what are verbs? So verbs क्या है? क्रिया है, कर्म है, कोई भी action है, उसको हम verb बोलते हैं, right? So let's take a simple verb like run. Okay. So we will have verbs like we will have its forms like run, ran, and running, right? ये हो गए 4 forms of the verb run, right? अब ये 4 forms क्या क्या है? Like ये कहाँ से आ रहे हैं? Run is the base form.
Ma'am, I think the third form is also run, no, ma'am?
The third form is run.
I think, ma'am.
He had run. Yes. Right. It is run. Okay. थोड़ा सा like okay. All right. So the first form run is the base form, right? The second form ran is the past tense. Right? Past tense या past form भी बोल सकते हैं इसको. Okay. And the third form is the past participle. Very good. And the fourth form is called the present participle. Okay. ये 4 फॉर्म्स होते हैं किसी भी वर्ब के. इसको प्रेजेंट फॉर्म भी बोला जाता है, बेस फॉर्म को प्रेजेंट फॉर्म भी बोला जाता है. सो ये 4 फॉर्म्स कहाँ यूज होते हैं, किस लिए ये 4 फॉर्म्स दिए गए हैं? ये 4 फॉर्म्स यूज होते हैं टेंसेस में. ओके, वी यूज दीज 4 फॉर्म्स इन डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ टेंस. सो अगर हम प्रेजेंट टेंस यूज कर रहे हैं, मे बी वी कैन यूज द बेस फॉर्म और द पास्ट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म. अगर हम पास्ट टेंस यूज कर रहे हैं, वी माइट यूज द पास्ट टेंस. इफ वी आर यूजिंग कंटिन्यूअस टेंस, प्रेजेंट हो, पास्ट हो या फ्यूचर हो, कंटिन्यूअस टेंस, उसके लिए हम प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल का यूज करते हैं. क्लियर? अब जब भी हम इनका एक भी फॉर्म यूज कर रहे हैं, लाइक आई रन टू द स्टोर, ही रैन टू द स्टोर, ही हैड रन टू द स्टोर, या फिर आई वाज रनिंग आउटसाइड, whichever form we are using, they are always working as verbs. Okay, ये हमेशा वर्ब की तरह काम करते हैं, ये चारों के चारों फॉर्म्स. ऑलराइट, क्लियर? तो फिर gerund कहां से आता है? Gerunds are basically when we use this form, ing form of the verb. So form क्या होगा हमारा? Form होगा running. Okay, this is the form of gerund. Gerund का यही फॉर्म होता है. वर्ब से gerund बनाने के लिए we use this the verb plus ing, right? But this does not work as a verb anymore. What does this work as? This works as a noun. ये किस चीज की तरह काम करता है? ये एक noun की तरह काम करता है. Then it becomes a gerund. So what are gerunds? Gerunds are basically verbs that take the form of ing and become nouns in a sentence. Those are called gerunds. Okay, so I will give 2 examples here. The first example is I was running, and the second example is I love running. So these 2 things, in both the sentences I am using the words running, right? I'm using the word running. So first वाले में I was running, I is the subject, was is obviously the helping verb here, right? And running is the main verb. So इसका फॉर्म क्या है? ये हमारा प्रेजेंट पार्टिसिपल फॉर्म में है, ये वर्ब फॉर्म में है. ओके, मैं दौड़ रही थी, मैं एक्शन में थी, दौड़ना. ओके, but the second sentence, in the second sentence you will be you can see that I love running. I love running का मतलब क्या है? I subject हो गया, love हमारा main verb हो गया. Love is the main verb of the sentence. Running here works as a noun. Noun की तरह काम कर रहा है. So ये जो second running है, ये बन गया हमारा gerund. ओके, क्यों? क्योंकि ये नाउन का काम कर रहा है, क्योंकि ये वर्ब का काम नहीं कर रहा है। मैं जब बोल रही हूँ कि आई लव रनिंग, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मैं एक्शन में हूँ। व्हाट इज द एक्शन? लविंग इज द एक्शन। मुझे दौड़ना पसंद है, दौड़ना बिकम्स अ वर्ब, सॉरी नाउन। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ये जो रनिंग है इसको आप किसी भी नाउन से रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं। आई कैन से समथिंग लाइक आई लव एन एप्पल, आई लव स्मिता, right? So that is a person, again a noun. So this is also working as a noun. So this becomes a gerund. Is this a little clear, guys, what gerunds are? Koi bhi doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
Please feel free.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Clear.
Clear, ma'am.
If some action is happening in the sentence,
Very good, ma'am.
it's a verb. If there
Yes,
is no
yes.
action in that sentence, it's a gerund.
Yes, exactly. No, there is definitely action in the sentence. There is
But
definitely action in
related
the
to
sentence.
ing form.
Right, related to ing form, there is no action. Running से related action नहीं हो रहा है, love से related action हो रहा है. Okay, the main action of the sentence is love, not running. Okay, so I hope gerunds is clear, guys.
Ma'am, I love swimming, ma'am.
Absolutely correct, बिल्कुल सही. या फिर आप बोल सकते हैं swimming is my daily practice, या फिर बोल सकते हैं reading book is a great habit, right? Being late is your permanent state or something like that, is your nemesis. Okay, so in सब में हम ing form का इस्तेमाल तो कर रहे हैं, but वो verbs नहीं बन रहे हैं, वो बन रहे हैं हमारे gerunds. All right.
Miss ma'am, one thing, ma'am.
Yes, बताइए.
If a verb making in noun, form in noun, then I called gerund.
Yes, when the verb becomes a noun using the ing form, using particularly the ing form, it becomes a gerund. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, someone else was also asking something. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Swati.
I just want to ask that there are some verbs which cannot be acted as a gerund. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
there are some verbs which cannot be worked as a gerund. So उसके लिए we want to make noun.
Stative verbs.
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to make noun out of it, then that time we have to add being before that.
Right. So exactly what Karthik said, stative verbs, right? So Swati, this much discussion is not possible on gerunds because we have already discussed all this.
It's a vast topic. You will get confused if ma'am says completely about gerunds.
Yes, because we discussed, I remember we have discussed gerunds in much details in one of the class, and
I think,
we have
ma'am,
discussed about this also.
After verb class, you explain, ma'am.
In one class?
No, in when you are saying when you're explaining verbs, that
yes,
time
when we were doing verbs, we did gerunds and infinitives together. I remember.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Swati, if you have questions related to one second. So if you have questions related to gerunds, ask me in the evening class. Okay, we will discuss. No issues.
Okay.
Ma'am, I want to confuse the students, ma'am. 1 minute, ma'am. Gerunds can be acted as direct objects. Gerunds can be acted as indirect objects. Gerunds can be acted as objects of preposition. Gerunds can be acted as subject complements. Gerunds can be acted as object complements. Means this much if you learn, you will get confused.
Yes, plus
so
along with that, we also have the fact about transitive and intransitive verbs. So you cannot really use gerunds with all kinds of.
It's a vast topic. Gerunds is a vast topic.
No. Please don't go there. Itna zarurat nahi hai. Jitna zarurat hai, I have told you guys. Okay, what gerunds are? You just have to understand that much. That's more than enough. Okay. So we will come back to our discussion on gerunds. And we will come to gerund phrases, जिसके लिए मैंने gerund explain किया. Alright, so हमने समझा कि noun phrases क्या है, and relating to that, we will also understand what are gerund phrases. ताकि एक idea हो जाए कि noun phrases हमेशा noun की तरह काम नहीं करते, gerund phrases भी noun की तरह काम कर सकते हैं. Alright, this is very important. So a gerund phrase is formed when a gerund, the ing form of a verb, is used as a noun. Is accompanied by any modifiers and or objects. The entire phrase functions as a noun, meaning it can be the subject of a clause or an object of a verb or a preposition. If you have understood noun phrases, आपको इसमें भी ज़्यादा दिक्कत नहीं होगी. जैसे noun phrases में हमने क्या किया, एक noun लिया, उसके आगे पीछे कुछ शब्द लगाए, डिटर्मिनर्स हो सकते हैं, एडवर्ब्स हो सकते हैं, एडजेक्टिव्स हो सकते हैं, जिससे उसको और मतलब मिला, जिससे उसको और मीनिंग मिला। सिमिलर थिंग इज हैपनिंग हियर, द सेम थिंग। जेरेंड मतलब भी एक नाउन ही है, अ टाइप ऑफ नाउन, राइट। एक जेरेंड ले रहे हैं, उसके आगे पीछे कुछ डिटर्मिनर्स लगा रहे हैं, कुछ एडजेक्टिव्स लगा रहे हैं, कुछ मॉडिफायर्स लगा रहे हैं, और उसका मतलब थोड़ा सा बढ़ा रहे हैं, नथिंग एल्स। ओके, सेम थिंग, जस्ट द डिफरेंस इज कि वहां पर एक नाउन है लाइक अ बुक, एप्पल, स्टार, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ, यहां पर एक जेरेंड है जो भी नाउन ही है। ओके, दिस इज द ओनली डिफरेंस बिटवीन नाउन फ्रेज एंड जेरेंड फ्रेज अगर हम देखें। ऑलराइट, चलिए, so let's look at the phrases. Swimming every day is good for your health. So swimming every day becomes our gerund phrase here. I wouldn't recommend reading books in the dark. Reading books in the dark becomes our gerund phrase here. Chaliye, so the first example, swimming every day is good for health. Same thing. What is good for health?
What is good for your health?
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct, Karthik. Same thing is happening here. What is good for your health, right? So जैसे ही what से हम replace कर रहे हैं, हमें पता है कि ये noun phrase है, but हमें तो यहाँ पर कोई noun नहीं दिख रहा है, proper noun, जैसे कि book, apple, stars, human being. So यहाँ पर noun क्या है? यहाँ पर noun है हमारा swimming. That is basically a gerund, right? And everyday क्या है? Everyday is basically a determiner that is telling us about the swimming. Yes.
Every day is adverb or a noun?
Okay,
No,
sorry,
adverb, I think.
adverbial phrase basically यहाँ पर लिखा है, but yes, it is describing something about the swim. कितना swim करना है? Every day swim करना है. Okay, so this is becoming our gerund phrase. Noun phrase भी है और gerund phrase भी है. बोल सकते हैं noun phrase. It's not incorrect, but more appropriate. If you go into more details, it is a gerund phrase. Clear? Let's come to the second one. I wouldn't recommend reading books in the dark. Again, same thing, right?
What wouldn't I recommend?
Absolutely correct. So
What wouldn't I recommend?
या फिर simply भी बोले तो I wouldn't recommend what? I wouldn't recommend reading books in the dark. Reading again becomes our gerund, and books in the dark, it is describing something about this gerund, and it can use objects. Nouns usually cannot use objects, but gerund can use objects. Okay, so we have an object here, that is the book, and then we have adverbial prepositional phrase in the dark. So this again becomes a prepositional phrase. Okay, इसको इतना मतलब समझने की जरूरत नहीं है, because we will do prepositional phrase in details, then I will explain what prepositional phrases are. But just try to understand that everything here, books in the dark, is describing something about reading. It is giving like a depth of information about reading. Reading अगर हमारा gerund है, अगर हमारा noun है, उसके बारे में कुछ extra information दे रहा है ये books in the dark. That is why it is added in the phrase. That is the gerund phrase. Okay. बताइए guys, यहाँ तक क्या थोड़ा सा clear है gerund phrase and noun phrase?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of
थोड़ा नहीं
books
है
in the
मैम,
dark?
पूरा clear है.
I
For
would
Karthik, it is all clear.
recommend reading.
Yes, Harmeet.
Yes, ma'am. And what is the meaning of books in the dark?
Books in the dark. Reading books in the dark का मतलब है that you should not read books like अंधेरे में नहीं
When
पढ़ना.
the light is not good.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So अगर कम light है तो उसमें नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए किताब. Yes, and Swati,
Okay.
do you have a question? No. Okay, चलिए, no one has any questions, so we will move on to the next part. I actually wanted to do infinitives as well. So infinitives थोड़ा सा discuss करते हैं आज, ताकि ये तीनों clear हो जाए, so that we can do one exercise on noun, gerund and infinitive phrases. चलिए, so what are infinitives? Infinitives भी same ही है. So जो चार हमने वो लिए थे, चार फॉर्म्स लिए थे हमने किसी भी वर्ब के. लेट्स टेक कोई एक रेगुलर वर्ब, कैन समवन से विथ ed?
What, ma'am?
Any regular verb with ed?
Surprise, surprised, surprised.
Okay,
Surprising.
Surprise. Okay, very good. Surprise. Surprised. surprised and
surprising.
Okay, so ये हमारे 4 forms हो गए verb के. So this is basically the base form of the verb. This is the past form of the verb. This is the past participle form of the verb, and this is the present participle form of the verb, right? So ये हमारे 4 forms हो गए. So how are infinitives made? So we know that all these 4 forms are verbs, right? ये चारों form हमारे verbs हैं, but infinitive हमारा noun है. Okay, infinitive और भी forms होते हैं infinitives के, I think adjectives and adverbs and so on and so forth, but हम सिर्फ noun को लेकर ही अभी बात करेंगे. Okay, so infinitive हमारा noun है. So infinitive कैसे बनता है? Very simple. The formula for infinitive is base
2 plus
form,
base form of verb.
yes, base form of the verb plus, sorry, उल्टा ना, 2 plus base form of the verb, right? ये बन गया हमारा infinitive. So अगर surprise का हम infinitive बनाना चाहेंगे तो कैसे बनेगा?
2 plus surprise.
Right, to surprise. Okay, to surprise. Simply ये बन गया हमारा infinitive, 2 plus base form of the verb. और ये क्या बन गया? ये बन गया हमारा noun. Okay, and in turn it becomes an infinitive. बहुत ही simple है. Let's look at 2 examples here.
Can I say one example, ma'am?
Yes, yes, बिल्कुल बताइए. Definitely. Just 1 second, okay, Karthik, let me write it down. Yes, बताइए.
To surprise my friend, I gifted him a car.
Okay, to surprise
on his birthday.
इतना लंबा नहीं चाहिए. To surprise my friend, I gifted
him a car.
Okay, I gifted him a car. Gifted him a car. Very good. So यहाँ पर to surprise my friend, to surprise is working as a noun, right? But if we take a sentence like I surprise my friends on their birthdays. Okay, if I take a sentence like I surprise my friends on their birthdays, तो यहाँ पे surprise is working as a verb. That is the action. क्या किया जाता है? Surprise किया जाता है. But in this sentence, I gifted him a card to surprise my friend. Gifted is working as the main verb. Okay, and to surprise is working as the noun here. Okay, so this is basically what infinitive is. Yes,
ma'am, I cracked IIT exam to his surprise.
No, that is not infinitive. To his surprise is not an infinitive. Okay,
Between to and the base form of the verb, you cannot
Yes.
put anything.
You cannot
That
put
is the
anything.
formula.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so you cannot put anything between to and surprise or any base form of the verb if you're using it as an infinitive. Okay.
Yes.
So I hope to his surprise is, I think to is working as a preposition there. Okay. Chaliye. So I hope infinitives is clear. What infinitives are? Yes, guys.
Ma'am.
Yes. बताइए questions.
Ma'am, ये to surprise my friend, comma, I gifted him a car. From to friend means this the group of words that it is it a whole group of words is called a noun?
No, the entire group of words is not the noun. Only to surprise is working as the infinitive here. Okay, only to surprise. देखिए, infinitive basically is it can work as a noun, it can also work as other parts of speech, but noun की तरह काम कर रहा है और बस यही my friend नहीं. Okay, Manju.
And what does work my friend in the sentence?
I gifted him a car. So basically, if you look at this sentence, this is an independent clause. Okay, ये एक independent clause है. And to surprise my friend, this is, I think, a dependent clause. Okay, and इसका एक part है to surprise, and this is basically working as a noun. So I think if this is a dependent clause, this can work as the subject of this sentence. All right. So this sentence, No, this is not a dependent clause. I think this is a phrase. Okay, this is a phrase. So my friend is working as a noun, and this another one is also working as a noun. So it does not have any verb in the sentence. So when it does not have a verb, it becomes a phrase. All right.
ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions, guys? Bataiye.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Abhay.
One sentence, ma'am.
Yes, Bataiye.
To surprise my wife as I reached home.
Very nice. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Ma'am.
Yes, Vipul.
Ma'am. Infinitives, ma'am. Ma'am. You can repeat, ma'am. What is ma'am infinitive?
Infinitive is the to add कीजिए और base form of the verb लगा दीजिए. To go, to eat, to sleep, to surprise, to dream. All these are infinitives. Okay. और जैसे ड्रीम, गो, ईट, स्लीप ये वर्ब होते हैं, राइट? बट जैसे ही हम उनके पहले टू लगा देंगे, टू ईट, टू गो, टू स्लीप, वो हमारा दूसरा पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच बन जाता है. सो इट कैन बिकम अ नाउन बेसिकली. ऑलराइट, विपुल.
यस मैम. टू ड्राइव अ कार.
यस बिल्कुल. You need a driver's license to drive a car.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम और इसको अच्छी तरह से कैसे अरेंज करेंगे? थोड़ा सा
किस चीज को बताइए, किस चीज को अरेंज करना है? सेंटेंस.
मैम यस मैम.
ये टू मींस इन्फिनेटिव को बोल रहा है, कैसे अरेंज करना है इसका.
Right. So basically, simple है, very simple. Like usually we do put it at the beginning of the sentence. जैसे कि कार्तिक ने ये sentence बनाया है, to surprise my friend, I gifted him a car. You can make sentences like to dance. It was my lifelong hobby to dance in front of a huge audience. Okay. या फिर yes, Karthik.
To dance in my school competition, I practiced whole night yesterday.
Yes, exactly. To dance in my school competition, I practiced the entire night yesterday. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
What is the Hindi meaning, ma'am?
Yes, Deepak. Deepak.
What is the Hindi meaning? To surprise my friend, I gifted him a car. What is the Hindi meaning?
Infinitive is to surprise. To surprise.
No, ma'am. What is the Hindi meaning? To surprise my friend, I gifted
Okay,
him.
मेरे फ्रेंड को सरप्राइज करने के लिए मैंने उसे एक कार गिफ्ट किया. ओके.
ओके, मेरे फ्रेंड को सरप्राइज करने के लिए I gifted him a car.
Yes, मैंने उसे एक कार गिफ्ट किया. All right. चलिए, so guys, we will stop here. I hope you guys have taken a few screenshots. So इसी को हम डिस्कस करेंगे और भी डिटेल्स में. वी विल डू इंफिनिटिव phrases as well in the next class, and then we will do some exercises on noun phrases, gerund phrases and infinitive phrases. Then we will move on to different kinds of phrases. Okay. And today's evening class 6 p.m.